And good evening. Welcome to the WC-TV broadcast Game of the Week. High school basketball action here from Summit High School. We have the visiting Brentwood Lady Bruins facing off against the host Summit Lady Spartans. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Parker Hazard, bringing you play-by-play coverage this evening. A big 3-4 matchup in the district here, AAA. We have the number 3 Brentwood Lady Bruins visiting the number 4 Summit Lady Spartans. Both teams very close coming into this game. And as we see here, we have the starting lineups for both teams. For your host, Lady Spartans, we have Taylor Limperville, Marley Anderson, Taylor Penning, Sydney Wright, and Ellie Colson with the starting 5 for the Lady Summit Spartans. And for Brentwood High School, previously announced their starters, Emily Truschel, Delaney Truschel, Chloe Wampler, Sophie Roston, and Amelia Osgood. As mentioned before, both of these teams neck and neck, 7-3 in the conference. Brentwood coming in at 14-6, Summit 11-6. The Brentwood Lady Bruins are coached by Miles Thrash, and Summit, Kari Goodwin, head coach for both respective teams. So this evening we're going to be looking out for a few key points. Brentwood coming into this game won 4 of their last 5, and Summit has won 3 in a row with wins over CPA and Centennial on Tuesday being their last 2 games. So enough talk, here we go. Game has started. Brentwood winning the opening tip-off, and Delaney Truschel unable to finish the layup. And the Lady Spartans starting their first possession of tonight as Taylor Limperville bringing the ball and setting up the play for the Lady Spartans. Pass inside to Ellie Colson. Unable to get anything going, looking for some help. And Brentwood able to pick up the turnover. Amelia Osgood at the front court. So Osgood again with the ball, resetting up the play. Wampler looking for some help. Good defense so far by Spartans. Osgood with the 3, no good. Truschel with the rebound. That is Delaney, her sister. Emily Truschel, number 12, with the ball as well. Gets it out to Wampler, and she is fouled as she goes up for the shot, so that'll be 2 shots. It's going to be a foul call on Colson, number 20. That'll be her first. So as we see there, Wampler off the mark on her first free throw attempt. Able to come up one of 2. As the Lady Spartans with Limperville getting the ball up the front court, looking to get something started for the Lady Spartans. Errant pass, but it was picked up by Penning. Limperville all the way over to the wing. Penning off the mark. Great offensive rebound by Marley Anderson. Limperville for 3, and it is good. Limperville with the 3, starting the scoring for the Lady Spartans as they're looking at a full court press here early. Lady Bruins able to get through it. As Ralston off the mark. Rebound, Lady Spartans, Sydney Wright. Limperville down court. Swings it, 3 on the way, no good. That was Taylor Penning as she was unable to crowd the ball, and that will be over and back against the Lady Spartans. So a couple turnovers early for the Lady Spartans. That is something that Coach Goodwin mentioned. As we see there, Miles Thrash, the head coach of the Lady Bruins, he is rostering a young team, 1 senior, and they have the kind of a three-headed monster with Emily and Delaney Truschel and Amelia Osgood, all averaging 13 points a game or more. And the big key for the Lady Spartans that Coach Goodwin was talking about was have to limit the turnovers and try to make this game as difficult as possible for those 3 scorers for the Lady Bruins. As we see Carrie Goodwin there, head coach of the Summit Spartans. And we have the ball out of bounds. Gonna stay with the Lady Bruins possession here under the basket. Ball in the front court to Delaney Truschel. Working Ellie Colson inside, unable to pull off the spin around jumper, and it will go off the Lady Bruins. Change the possession to the Lady Spartans. Taylor Limfeld down low to Sydney Wright. And little happy feet by Colson, unable to gather herself, and that'll be a traveling call and another turnover for the Lady Spartans. Emily and Delaney Truschel playing catch as the ball is out front to Amelia Osgood. Osgood, one of those 3 scorers, averaging 17 points a game, trying to get her night started. But there's the first steal by Limperville. Gets it down court to Anderson, and she is fouled going up, so that is going to be 2 shots for Anderson. Mentioning Limperville's first steal of the game, she's actually coming into this game averaging 4 steals a game, known for her defense, and she is the lone scorer so far with the 3-pointer for the Lady Spartans, as Anderson is able to make the first free throw attempt. Anderson actually is averaging 8 points a game. She's a solid aspect of this Lady Spartans offense, as she is 2 for 2 from the line, and I know the Lady Spartans are definitely going to want to stay hot from the line to stay in this game, as Delaney Truschel driving the lane, unable to get it. Osgood with the turnover, steal, and bucket. Amelia Osgood with the first field goal for the Lady Bruins tonight. Limperville down low to Colson, trying to find some space, back down, and is unable to finish it. Looks like the Lady Bruins thought it was off of them. Nonetheless, Limperville was the last person to touch it after the save by Osgood. So once again, another turnover for the Lady Spartans. Osgood all the way down to the lane, and she is in for the score. All the way down with the left hand, kissing it off the glass. And this game is tied 5-5 with 3.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Lady Spartans trying to answer. Good switches and movement by the Lady Bruins defense. Trying to look for the give and go was Colson. Good pick set by Colson, and a roll, and unable to corral it as Emily Truschel picks up a loose ball, and Coach Miles Thrash for the Lady Bruins will call the first timeout of the ball game. So 5-5 here in the first quarter. 3:07 left as both teams go to the drawing boards. Again, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Parker Hazard, here with the broadcast for you, WC-TV Game of the Week. Previously this season in December, these two teams played. Brentwood Lady Bruins ousting the Lady Spartans 59-52. Close game, high scoring at that, and so far this game is pretty fast-paced, but both teams on the defensive side are staying strong and holding points off the board for their counterparts. And I'm only assuming that is part of the reason Miles Thrash, coach of the Lady Bruins, wanted to talk over some things and see if they can figure out some ways to get the ball into some of their scorers' hands and in the bucket. As we see the Truschel sisters passing back and forth, and in by Delaney Truschel, assisted by Emily Truschel. Tremperville down the lane, looking for the runner, unable to hit, as she was able to come off of that miss and tie up Delaney Truschel and get the jump ball, and the possession will stay with the Lady Spartans. Baseline inbound. Colson inside and in. She was assisted there by, let's see, number 12. I don't have her on my roster sheet, but good assist by her as Emily Truschel in off the glass. So Bruins get the 2-point lead, and a steal by Osgood running down the floor against Tremperville. Up and in off the glass, left hand, Amelia Osgood once again. So turnovers and missed shots kind of hindering the scoring for the Lady Spartans so far. And as of late, the Lady Bruins are capitalizing on it. Ball inside to Colson. Kicks it outside. 3 is up and in. So that is number 12, Emma Kate Bratton, the sophomore, with the 3, bringing the Lady Spartans within 1. 11-10, Lady Bruins lead. Just over a minute left to play in this opening quarter of tonight's ball game. Missed 3 by Chloe Wampler, and the rebound by Kate Bratton. So at the front court is Marley Anderson. Finding the cutting Taylor Penning, unable to finish, and we're inside a minute left to go in this first quarter. Ball outside. Truschel unable to connect. And Taylor Penning with the rebound. And Lady Spartans slowing it up just a bit as we reach close to the end of this first quarter. Not in any hurry are the Lady Spartans. Both teams understanding that this shot is going to be taken by the Spartans to make the last shot, and great defense by the Lady Bruins. That was number 24, Chloe Wampler, able to force the jump ball and regain possession for the Lady Bruins with 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and we have some personnel changes on both teams. Looks like number 3, Kristen Hunt, and number 14, Caitlin Lorenzi, into the ball game for the Lady Bruins. And Claudette Runk, number 14, for the Lady Spartans in the game. So clock at 5. Osgood in the corner, blocked. Christina Hunt going for the 3, and it is blocked by the Lady Spartans. So there in the last 45 seconds, great defense by both teams. And our score will stay put at the Lady Bruins 11 and the Lady Spartans 10 at the end of the first quarter in this 11 AAA conference matchup. And as mentioned before, this young team that Miles Thrash there, the Lady Bruins have so far, good ball movement and able to find their scorers, get the ball in their hands, and they're towards the end of that first quarter, they were able to capitalize on turnovers and get points on the board. And if you're Coach Goodwin on the Lady Spartan side, you're going to look to prevent those turnovers, be smarter with the ball, and set up your plays to get inside to Ellie Colson, who seems to be their leading scorer this year with 11 points per game down low in the paint. And both teams with one foul each, so far foul trouble is not an issue. So here to begin the second quarter, the Lady Spartans will possess the ball as Anderson gives to Penning. And looks like we're going to have a foul on the Lady Bruins. And that's going to be on Delaney Truschel, her first foul, team second. Inbound to Colson at the top of the key. And Anderson will set up the play for the Lady Spartans. Runk gives to Taylor Penning, and she is able to hit right outside the free throw line. And that will give the Lady Spartans a 12-11 lead. Wampler with the ball, sets up from three and makes it. Wasn't getting pressure from the Lady Spartans there behind the three-point line, and she decided to put it up and is good. Colson inside, battling inside, unable to make it. And Delaney Truschel with the rebound, pushing the ball up the court. Passes to Hunt. She is partially blocked by Kate Bratton. And Hunt, it will be called for the travel. So Emily Truschel back in the game for Wampler for the Lady Bruins. As Marley Anderson gives to Penning. Anderson looking to set something up with a little bit of a zone defense from the Lady Bruins. Colson outside to Runk, and she is able to hit it from downtown. Three-point field goal by Claudette Runk, the freshman, and that regains the lead for the Lady Spartans. Emily Truschel unable to hit the corner three as the Lady Spartans are in transition. Long pass to Runk, and an errant pass trying to get it back up front to Marley Anderson, and that will be over the back call. And Lady Bruins will regain possession. 5:49 left to go in this second quarter of play. 1 point game with the Lady Spartans ahead of the Lady Bruins 15-14. Looks like the Lady Spartans staying in man-to-man defense as Amelia Osgood out to Emily Truschel with the pop step jump shot there on the baseline, able to make it. And back and forth ball game, as the Bruins take the lead once again. Runk outside to Taylor Penning, all the way around. Every bit of that rim and backboard, and unable to finish. Emily Truschel, nice little stutter step in for the bucket. That was a nice looking play there by Emily Truschel, showing off her fancy footwork and skills. That is part of the reason why she is a 16 points a game player for the Lady Bruins. Runk, the freshman outside, unable to hit, gets her own rebound and draws the foul against Delaney Truschel. So good awareness and hustle by Runk, able to follow her shot and get her own rebound and to contain possession for the Lady Spartans, as Lemperville and Sydney Wright back in the game for the Lady Spartans. Limperville drives and kicks it back out to Penning, who will reset the play. Sydney Wright. Good movement by Sydney Wright with the picks, trying to get inside. And for a moment there, Taylor Penning lost the ball and was able to tip it back, and it was off of Lady Bruin. And once again, the Lady Spartans will regain possession. Anderson kicks it outside. Corner three-pointer is good by Emma Kate Bratton, the sophomore. Good stroke by Kate Bratton. And that will tie the ball game up at 18. Hunt inside and good. Saw a lane, an opening in the lane, was able to drive to the basket and score for the Bruins. 3.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Brentwood with a 2-point lead, 20-18 over the Lady Spartans. Penning, pump fake, and trying to get it inside to Wright. Turnover, Delaney Truschel up and in. And that is going to force Coach Goodwin on the Lady Spartans sideline to call a timeout. So far tonight, the Lady Bruins are capitalizing in every way on Summit's turnovers. And really same to be true for the Lady Spartans, getting a hold of the loose balls and forcing turnovers from the Lady Bruins as well. And back to the drawing boards are both teams. So as mentioned before, this is a 3-4 matchup here in the conference, as seems to be all 9 teams are chasing after Page, who's leading the conference at 10-1, number 2 Dixon County at 8-2, and Brentwood and Summit tied at 7-3. And with the head-to-head matchup, Brentwood gets that number 3 spot. And very important game for both teams to get that, solidify the full third position in the conference. And depending on how Dixon County does tonight, possibly get into second place as we are approaching the last few weeks of this season going into district play. As Lady Spartans Limperville will bring the ball up court. Hands to Marley Anderson, driving to the right, trying to draw the foul. No foul call, but able to swish it through. Great play by Marley Anderson. Brings the Summit Spartans within 2, just over 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Suffocating defense by Limperville on Osgood. Forcing the 5-second possession call. Great defense by Taylor. And as mentioned before, the Lady Spartans able to force turnovers here late for the against the Lady Bruins. And 1 possession game, 2.5 minutes left to go. See if the Lady Spartans can capitalize. Down low to Colson. Nice move, unable to finish. Had body possession, although Limperville able to steal the ball and up and in. Great defense by Limperville once again. Osgood rushing down the floor. Left-handed scoop off the glass with Limperville chasing behind. And real quick, we have a back-and-forth game once again. Marley Anderson almost loses the ball, saves it. Down low to Colson, and she's able to draw the foul. So far, Ellie Colson doing a really good job down low with body position against the inside defenders of the Lady Bruins. And there's no reason not to give her the ball. They will start falling, and if not, she will get to the line, which free throw shots are crucial. And she's unable to hit the first one. And the substitution for the Lady Bruins, Delaney Truschel in for Christina Hunt. Second shot for Colson. and she hits it. Brings the Lady Spartans within one, 24-23 Brentwood with 1:46 left to go in this first half. Fast-paced first half at that, and the scoring has finally started to work or go in for both teams. Off the mark was Wampler, able to get her own rebound. Wampler from the corner misses everything. And Colson with the rebound. Marley Anderson kicks out to Kate Bratton. Unable to hit from three, but great rebound by Taylor Penning. Down low, nice move by Colson, and up and in. Great pivot, great shot, great pass as well. And that gives the Lady Spartans a 1-point lead, 25-24, under a minute left to go in this first half. Emily Truschel driving against Colston. Good defense by, I believe that was Taylor Penning there, knocking the ball out of bounds, forcing Brentwood the inbound from the baseline. Truschel to Truschel. Delaney drives, fakes, pivots, and in. Pretty play by Delaney Truschel, getting Kate Bratton off her feet and in for the score, as we are just under 30 seconds in this first half, as the Lady Spartans, I would assume, will look for the last shot and get some momentum and the lead going into the locker room. Coach Goodwin, Lady Spartans, barks out the play. Marley Anderson with the ball. 5 seconds left to go. Anderson out to Lemperville. Inside to Colson. She's up and no good at the buzzer. She got an open look, unable to finish. Nonetheless, great first half action as we go into the locker room with the Brentwood Lady Bruins leading Summit Lady Spartans 26-25. And we will be right back with more action, which I am sure to stay as fast-paced as it is right now. Don't go anywhere.
Hi everybody, this is Penny coming to you from Purr Palace here at Williamson County Animal Center. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Clarice. She's an 8-year-old silver tabby who doesn't mind hanging around with other cats. She loves to just sleep in the sunny spots and also hang out in our computer monitors that we have here in the room. So come on out and meet Clarice and all of her pals and go visit us at adoptwcac.org.
Hi, I'm Megan here at Williamson County Animal Center, and we have one of our really cute puppies, Irwin, with us. We have got quite a few puppies out in foster homes right now, so we are in need of puppy supplies. We could really use wet pedigree puppy food. Also, puppy pads and puppy formula are all things that we would love to take in, and these guys sure would be appreciative.
And welcome back to second half action here at Summit High School. We have the Brentwood Lady Bruins 26, Summit Lady Spartans 25. We have a 1-point game, and boy, has it been a good one. So second half is beginning as Brentwood will have the first possession of the third quarter. Wampler, good from 3. Quick score for the Lady Bruins. And Wampler with 4 points in the first half. That will take her to 7 for the game, as Limperville brings up the ball for the Lady Spartans' first possession. Colson looking inside to Marley Anderson, and Marley was unable to corral the ball, and that will be, it will be out of bounds, but it looks like Marley Anderson was actually called for the foul there after the play. That'll be Anderson's first foul this evening. Osgood going inside with the left hand and unable to connect on that runner. As mentioned before in the broadcast, turnovers were a big key for the Lady Spartans as far as limiting them as much as possible. As we see a 3 by Penning is no good. It looks like a jump ball is going to be the call, and possession will stay with the Spartans. But early this quarter, turnover by the Lady Spartans worked into points for the Bruins, and they're going to need to nullify those and score on their possessions, because this game can get out of hand pretty quickly with the scoring of the Lady Bruins. As Anderson loses the ball, Delaney Truschel able to come up with it. Quick down the court are the Bruins, and Wampler once again from 3-point. 2 for 2 from downtown for Chloe Wampler here in the second half. She was just left open, and she said thank you very much and was able to connect, as Limperville on the following possession by the Lady Spartans got blocked out of bounds. So she will get the play started for the Lady Spartans. Colson working hard inside, and looks like she's going to be, no, that's actually going to be on the Lady Bruins, Sophie Ralston, as Colson was able to get the better position and forced Ralston to foul. Kate Bratton wide open from 3, unable to connect. Emma Kate Bratton, the leading scorer for the Lady Spartans in the first half, coming off the bench with 6 points. Trying to get 3 more there, was unable to connect. As the Lady Bruins 7-point lead, 32-25, with 5 minutes and 18 seconds left to go. And Osgood connecting off the glass down low for the Lady Bruins, and that is going to force Coach Carly Goodwin to call a timeout for the Lady Spartans. Once again, 34-25 here in the third quarter, 5:08 left to go. And so far this half, the Lady Bruins came out fast and have been able to score on pretty much every possession that they have had. And Summit is actually scoreless so far, being a little careless with the ball, and I'm sure that's what Coach Goodwin is talking about. Maybe looking to slow down a little bit, stay within themselves, and get themselves back in this ball game, because as mentioned before, the Lady Bruins have scoring power and good shooters. look for the Lady Spartans to close out behind the perimeter, as well as get something going here on offense. Good pick by Kate Bratton as she gets the ball. And turnover by the Lady Spartans will give Brentwood the ball. Quick ball movement by the Lady Bruins as Emily Truschel driving loses the ball and is going to be called for the charge. And Lady Spartans with the ball as Brentwood is showing their first dose of press this evening. Marley Anderson driving and drawing the foul. Great job by the Lady Spartans there, getting past the press by Brentwood and getting Marley Anderson the ball and getting to the line. Anderson averaging 8 points a game. And that will give her 5th point this evening with the first free throw going in. Anderson 2 for 2 from the line. And that is going to be crucial for both teams, really, because this game has been close and is continuing to be close. And I don't see anything different from happening. So free throw shooting is going to be key for both teams, as well as taking care of the ball. Hunt trying to go inside, loses the ball, and that will give it back to the Lady Spartans. See if they can capitalize on, once again, another turnover. Limperville able to elude the press once again, and Anderson setting up the play for the Lady Spartans. As Anderson finds Colson, and she is going to be charged with the travel call as she tried to get in the lane. So once again, turnovers being really a factor on both sides, but seeming to be more so on Summit's side so far. Osgood kicks it out to Hunt, and she is off the mark from the corner three. Marley Anderson pushing the ball. Gives to Penning. Deep three-pointer, no good. And great hustle by Taylor Limperville, able to save it through her legs, and it will go off of Lady Bruin and stay with Summit. As Caitlin Lorenzi will come in for Christina Hunt and the Lady Bruins. Colson down low trying to find position, but good defense down low by Delaney Truschel. Looks like the Bruins are in somewhat of a 2-3 zone, trying to block off the interior from the Lady Spartans, as Anderson floats it into the interior. Colson unable to finish, but another offensive rebound by Summit. Anderson to Penning. Off the mark once again and out of bounds to the Lady Bruins. Good ball movement there by the Lady Spartans. Finding open looks, just not finding the bottom of the net, and should not be discouraging. Keep shooting the ball. As Delaney Truschel finds number 14, Caitlin Lorenzi, the freshman, off the bench with her first points of the game. Cross-court pass, double time. Down low to Colson, looking for the foul and gets it. Scary passing decisions there by the Lady Spartans, but actually ended up working side to side, back outside and down low. Colson actually had a good look, but great job by Ellie to draw the foul as she is unable to hit from the line on her first free throw. So I believe that was Delaney's third foul, Delaney Truschel, so she will take a seat on the bench as Sophie Roston comes back in the game for the Lady Bruins. Colson 1 for 2 at the line. That brings this game to 36-28 with 1:20 left to go in the third quarter. Lady Spartans down by 8, needing a big stop here on defense. Roston wide open, thinking about it, shoots it. Unable to connect as she was going for that offensive rebound. She will pick up a foul. So that's her third foul, and that takes the foul total for the Lady Bruins to 5. So if you're the Lady Spartans, maybe want to try to get the ball inside and draw some more fouls and get the Bruins in foul trouble as Anderson able to connect on the short jump shot. Brings this game to 6 points as Limperville is called for the foul. So that'll be 1 on Limperville and the second foul for the Lady Spartans. That is something that the Spartans would maybe want to try to do is getting these Lady Bruins in foul trouble and getting points at the line any way they can. As Wampler is unable to hit from 3. Lady Spartans quick up court, and Anderson decides to pull up, set up a play here for the final shot in the last 15 seconds here in the third quarter. See what Coach Goodwin draws up here. Anderson to Penning from deep and hits. Huge three-pointer by Taylor Penning to end this third quarter. Great ball movement. Wide open three-pointer connects, and that brings the Lady Spartans within 3 at the end of 3. Brentwood Lady Bruins 36, Summit 33. And as said before, folks, this game seems to be like it's going to come down to the wire and come down to, judging by that third quarter, foul trouble and turnovers, as the Lady Spartans starting slow, able to finish strong there towards the end of that quarter with a big three-pointer by Taylor Penning. And we will see what this fourth quarter has in store for us, but I am here to tell you right now, I don't see the pace getting any slower, and I think we'll be in for a treat. So Chloe Wampler will inbound the ball at midcourt as the Lady Bruins get this fourth quarter started for us. Wampler able to use the pick by Amelia Osgood and go right in with the left hand up and good. So that will extend the Lady Bruins lead to 5. Inside to Colson. Unlucky break by Colson. Good look as Limperville applying pressure. Brentwood able to get past the press. Emily Truschel up and in off the glass. kind of getting behind the defense of the Lady Spartans, and that is 4 quick points by the Lady Bruins here early in the fourth quarter. Molly Anderson with the ball, looking over at Coach Goodwin to get the play. Cross-court pass. As looks like the Lady Spartans having a tough time eluding this zone by the Bruins. Anderson unable to hit, but Kate Bratton with a big offensive rebound. And unfortunate missed shots by the Lady Spartans, but great job on the offensive boards as they regain possession. Ellie Colson down low, battling for those boards. Great ball movement by the Lady Spartans, finding Kate Bratton down low as she is able to draw the foul. And so that'll be number 3 on Delaney Truschel. 6 fouls for Brentwood altogether, as Emma Kate Bratton able to connect with the first shot of 2 from the line. Kate Bratton, sophomore for the Lady Spartans, as she is 2 for 2. So big free throws, and looks like the Lady Spartans are the Bruins are one more foul away from sending the Spartans to the line to the remainder of this game. As Emily Truschel driving and drawing a foul of her own. Shaken up just a little bit as she heads to the line for her 2 shots. And that foul was on Ellie Colson. That is her second, team third of this half for the Lady Spartans. And Emily Truschel off the mark on her first of 2 free throws. As she is able to hit, as she will come off the court as kind of laboring that right knee just a little bit. Hope she's okay. Sophie Roston back in the game for the Lady Bruins. 6-point lead for the Lady Bruins with 5.5 minutes left to go in your final corner of play. Anderson gets the pinning for an open 3, unable to hit. One more offensive rebound for the Lady Spartans. Lemperville hits from the corner, gets the offensive rebound, gets an open look from 3 and is able to hit, brings this game to 3 points, 41-38, Brentwood lead. Delaney Truschel unable to hit, offensive rebound by Wampler. Deep 3 by Osgood, unable to hit. But once again, another offensive rebound by the Lady Bruins. So that'll be off of Taylor Penning as she attempted the steal. And man, what suffocating defense by Lemperville once again. Showing her hustle on the defensive side all night. Unfortunate foul call on her. But great hustle nonetheless. Trying to get the Lady Spartans possession back. So that'll be the 4th foul on the Lady Spartans. As Lorenzi finding Ralston unable to hit from the corner. And Lady Spartans unable to stay in control with the ball, turning the ball over to the Lady Bruins once again. So we are coming up to our 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter of this 11-3A conference matchup, as turnovers have been on both sides. Colson with the big steal, giving it to Limperville. Breakaway layup, and that brings this game to 1 point. 41-40, Brentwood lead. Osgood step back jumper, unable to hit, and another rebound by Colson. Colson is having a wonderful game down low, offensively and defensively, and crashing the boards. She was actually a preseason all-district pick. And with that power and able to draw foul once again, she is showing what she is made of. So that'll be Ralston's fourth foul. And that brings the foul total for the Brentwood Lady Bruins to 7. As Colson unable to hit the first of 2. So here on out, Lady Spartans will be shooting free throws if they're able to draw fouls against the Lady Bruins, as we see Emily Truschel back in the ballgame for the Lady Bruins in place of Ralston with those 4 fouls. So unfortunate 0 for 2 trip to the line for Colson. And that will keep us at 41-40, Brentwood with the 1 point lead. Almost turning the ball over as the Truschel sisters trying to connect. And good defensive play once again by Taylor Penning, able to poke the ball away. Near steal by Limperville. Sister-to-sister hookup down low. Emily Truschel to Delaney Truschel for an open layup. And timeout called on the floor. I believe that is by Brentwood. So both teams will go back to the drawing boards. We are at 3:07 left to go in this fourth quarter. 43-40, Brentwood has the lead over the Lady Spartans. And judging by their December 11th matchup earlier in the season, Brentwood again winning by 59-52. Close game, I believe. I had no doubt this game is going to be just as good. And both teams answering the bell in their respective ways. And both teams knowing how important this game is coming down to the lighter ends of this season, going into district play, and seedings are so important in the district tournament. And it's talking to both coaches, no matter what your seeding is, it's kind of nobody wants to play anybody. There's no good matchup once you get to district play. That's how much talent that this county has and this conference has, men or boys and girls basketball. So that makes this game that much more important. So after the timeout, Limperville will have the ball up front court for the Lady Spartans. Brentwood switched to man defense. Limperville finding Colson inside, unable to connect. Truschel finding Hunt in the corner and makes it. Huge three-point basket by Christina Hunt there, taking the Bruins to a 46-40 lead, 6 points here, closing in on 2 minutes left to go in the game. Every possession is going to be very important for both teams. Kate Bratton answers with a 3 of her own. Once again, huge basket, both sides. Christina Hunt with the first 3, Kate Bratton said, you got one, I got one too. So that brings this game to 3 points. And it looks like the farther this game, or the closer this game gets to the end, both teams are answering the bell very nicely and coming up with big shots. And that's just what both coaches are going to want to see. So coming out of the timeout, not a lot of press by the Lady Spartans. I can only think that with 2:10 left to go in this game, maybe show some pressure in the front court with Limperville and the rest of her team, and that is exactly what they're going to do as they back off a little bit. The Lady Bruins with the ball with 2 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Near steal again by Limperville. Emily Truschel in and out. Rebound by Colson and a hard foul by, looks like Delaney Truschel, coming down on Colson. So that'll be the fourth foul on Delaney, team 8th. So that will send the Lady Spartans to the line. Colson for a 1-and-1. She's been kind of cold from the line. No better time to sink these than right now, as she is able to hit the first. And after going 0 for 4 this quarter, or this half, excuse me, from the line, Colson able to pick up 2 huge free throws, bringing the Lady Spartans within 1, 46-45, 1.5 minutes left to go in this game. Big defensive possession for the Spartans, and even bigger for the Lady Bruins to extend this lead, get a little breathing room. As it is apparent that Miles Thrash, the coach of the Bruins, is trying to slow it down just a little bit. And Amelia Osgood drives in the lane and is fouled. That'll be on Marley Anderson, her second of the game. And that'll be the team 5th foul from Summit. As Osgood shaken up a bit, but makes it to the line to shoot her 2 shots, as Brentwood calls a timeout. That'll leave them with 2 left to go in this game. So coming up next week for each of these teams, Brentwood will be visiting Page, the first place 10-1 Lady Patriots. And that's going to be another big game. Like I said, these games just get more and more important and bigger as the stage and the lights get brighter towards the end of this season. And for the Lady Spartans, they will be traveling to Ravenwood to face off against the Lady Raptors. And following this game, we will have our boys, the Brentwood Bruins and the Summit Spartans, coming up shortly after this game. The Brentwood Bruins sit number 5 in the Mid-State. They're pretty hot, but a young, resilient bunch from Summit, looking to use their athleticism and come up with a huge upset. Sure to be a good game, but we got ourselves a really good one right now, as Amelia Osgood will be shooting 2 from the line for the Lady Bruins. Osgood averaging 17 points a game, and she is their leading scorer as she misses the first one. Recently getting an offer from University of Tennessee Chattanooga, so that's big news for Osgood, as she's able to hit 1 of 2 from the line, giving the Lady Bruins a 2-point lead, as we are almost to the 1 minute mark left in this game. So timeout called by Coach Goodwin and the Lady Spartans. So, as mentioned before, how important this game is for both teams and the seedings in the conference following the outcome tonight. So one thing to mention that's among other things that's kept the Lady Spartans in this game is they only have 5 fouls to Brentwood's 8, and depending on how this last minute shapes up, that gives them 2 to work with without giving the Bruins shots from the free throw line. Nonetheless, very important offensive possession for Summit, as we are at 1 minute left to go in regulation. Limperville finds Anderson. Good pass and good job by Marley Anderson drawing the foul. And that's going to be on Ralston, Sophie Ralston, and that will be her 5th foul. And she will head to the bench. Her night is over as Christina Hunt comes in for her. Marley Anderson, 1 out of 1 so far from the free throw line. Make that 2 for 2. And that ties us up at 47. 50 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. As the crowd here at Summit High School comes to life on both sides. As Coach Thrash on the Brentwood sideline calls a timeout. And that will leave both teams with 1 timeout left, 40.1 seconds left to go, tied at 47. Huge free throws made by Marley Anderson for the Lady Spartans just then. She has 10 points this evening. And leading the way for the Lady Spartans right now, judging by our scoreboard here, is Emma Kate Bratton coming off the bench with 11 points for the Lady Spartans. Unfortunately, I don't have more info on the Lady Bruins scoring, but I know it's just as diverse as the Spartans. Lot of scoring by multiple players on both sides tonight, and just shows how much talent each squad has. Fun game to watch as Hunt holding on to the ball. And we are down to 30 seconds left to go in regulation. Suffocating defense by the Lady Spartans. Lady Bruins unable to get anything going as we're down to 10. Emily Truschel unable to hit. Limperville coming down the court. And Coach Goodwin barely able to call her final timeout. Try to get something drawn up for a quick bucket to win this game for the Lady Spartans. But one thing is, we only have 0.9 seconds left to go in this ball game. So defensively, for the Lady Bruins, going to need to look to be stuck on every Lady Spartan on the floor, not letting them get any type of clean catch from the sideline and a clean look for a basket. 0.9 seconds. Oh, excuse me. Looks like the officials have put 2.3 seconds back on the clock, as Coach Goodwin was able to get that timeout called enough. So disregard what I was about to say. 2.3 seconds, that's plenty of time to get something drawn up for the Lady Spartans. Get a dribble or two and a clean look. We'll see what they decide to do. Colson's been strong inside. Kind of cold, but able to draw fouls, which has been huge tonight. Outside shooting has been pretty good as well for the Lady Spartans. Brentwood, 3-on-2 out top, into Colson. Gives to Anderson. And with the at the buzzer, unable to hit. And as these fans are continuing to file in for this boys game, they're going to get to see some extra basketball on the girls' side. So we are going to overtime, an extra 4 minutes of play. As at the end of regulation, we are tied 47-47. And I can't begin to tell you how fun it's been to watch this game. Both sides working hard, fast-paced, forcing turnovers, and both teams capitalizing on those. But none more than the Lady Spartans able, coming down from 8. They were down as much as 8 here in the second half, and have shown the resilience to come back and force overtime and hopefully gain a little bit of revenge from their previous meeting. As both teams meet at center court, as Colson will go against Emily Truschel for the jump ball to start our overtime period. And Colson pokes it out to Kate Bratton, and Marley Anderson, unable to keep possession with the ball. So quick turnover by the Lady Spartans here in overtime. Osgood finds Hunt in the corner and misses the mark. So Lady Spartans in no hurry, trying to get something set up. Limperville gets down low to Colson and hits the baseline jumper. So that will give the Lady Spartans their first lead in the second half. Big steal by Marley Anderson. Gets it up court to Kate Bratton. Was unable to get it, and looks like it was off of Christina Hunt. So big turn of events there. Great defensive play on the Lady Spartans side, and great hustle by Kate Bratton, able to get that ball to go off of Hunt, and that keeps the Lady Spartans with possession. Colson working hard down low, gets her own rebound, unable to finish. Great offensive rebound by Limperville, and the Lady Spartans will set it up once again. I cannot tell you enough about Ellie Colson down low tonight. As looks like Marley Anderson's going to get called with the offensive foul. Might have extended her free hand a little bit too much there, so unfortunate turnover there by the Lady Spartans. Delaney Truschel from 3. Great pass by Osgood to her, and that will give the Lady Bruins a 1-point lead as we are under 2.5 minutes to play here in this overtime period. Limperville inside. Colson finishes. Got a healthy dose for, and Limperville, big steal. As Marley Anderson corrals the ball and they set it up. Limperville on the defensive side is an absolute Sorry, boy, watching the play there. She is a big factor there on defense for the Lady Spartans. I think that's probably her third steal tonight. Inside to Colson. Colson back out to Kate Bratton, unable to finish. And Ellie Truschel with the rebound. What a game. Osgood coasting in with the left hand in the lane, untouched, and able to finish and take advantage of a little bit of a lackluster defense on that possession by the Lady Spartans. And that brings this game to 52-51, 1 point lead for the Lady Bruins. We have 1:14 left to go in this overtime. So, as I was starting to say earlier, before Limperville was able to get that steal on the last possession, seems to be a healthy dose of Limperville to Colson on the inside. Every time Colson's able to gain that position, get behind the defender, and get clean looks, and the Lady Bruins do not have an answer for it, or at least they haven't so far. But the shooting and ball movement by the Lady Bruins all game, and especially in this overtime period, has regained them back the lead. Looks like the same 5 on the floor for both teams. Lady Spartans have had the same 5 on the floor for the majority of this ball game. We'll see if they can dig deep and stay back in this game. So we are under a minute now. Lady Bruins holding on to that 1 point lead. Limperville unable to finish, but once again, a big offensive rebound by Ellie Colson. Lady Spartans set it back up. Good defense by the Lady Bruins this possession. Long pass overthrown by Limperville, finding Colson, but off of Osgood. And the ball will stay with the Lady Spartans. 28.1 seconds left to go. 52-51, Lady Bruins holding on to the 1 point lead. Limperville wide open, decides to drive. Does, and hits. Wow, what a decision by Taylor Limperville. Wide open three-pointer, decides to drive it, takes a higher percentage shot and is able to connect. Man, what a game. 53-52. Lady Spartans have regained the lead. 15.1 seconds as Brentwood has called their final timeout. As you can see, both boys teams are kind of peeking out of the locker room, anxious to get on the court themselves, but definitely enjoying the great game that the ladies are putting on for everyone tonight. Student section's up and hype for the Spartans, and same thing for the Bruins. Have a good crowd finishing off this overtime girls game, as Lady Spartans are going to show pressure as they're trying to trap and unable to do it. Emily Truschel to her sister, Delaney Truschel. Unable to connect. She had an open look. Came up short. And Ellie Colson with, I don't know, maybe her 12th or 13th rebound. That's unofficial, of course. But able to get another one and get the foul called. So 2 shots, huge 2 shots here for Ellie Colson to attempt to get this to a 3-point game. With 5.2 seconds left to go, no timeouts for the Bruins, so they're going to have to go down the court fast, making these foul shots very important for Ellie. Got a good bounce for her on that first one. No Lady Spartan on the box down low, as Colson is unable to hit. 54-52. As Brentwood actually called a timeout, so I apologize. They did have another timeout left. And with 2 fouls to give for the Lady Spartans, kind of surprised they didn't decide to foul quick there. Nonetheless, 4 seconds went off the clock, which helps them out either way, as Colson was unable to hit both free throws. So that leaves us at 2-point differential, with the Lady Spartans trying to hold on and get this big district win at home and go to 8-3 in conference play and solidify sole possession of third place in the county, or excuse me, in the conference, barring what number 2 Dixon County does this weekend. So both teams break the huddle, and the Lady Bruins will have one shot at trying to potentially win this game with the three-pointer, as Emily Truschel to inbound. Looking for her leading scorer, Osgood. Finds her sister, Delaney, and unable to hit. And that is the ball game, as the Lady Spartans work from behind, down as much as 8, come back, force overtime, and are able to beat number 3 Brentwood Lady Bruins 54-52, as we get set for the boys game. Tough one to follow up, boys, so we'll see what happens. So final score, 54-52, Lady Spartans over the Lady Bruins. I'm Parker Hazard, and we will see you here shortly for boys action.